Okay, here we are. This is lesson 13 of drawing a 1963 Corvette Stingray coupe. And as you can see, we finished up most of the body today. Worked on the upper body and worked on the wheels. I have just little tiny trim things to do, and then I'll do my once over that I always do with these cars tomorrow, and we'll start a brand new drawing the day after. So um, I just am crazy about the way this thing came out. All the reflections and highlights on the windshield and the backlight and everything else on the body itself just came out perfectly, just the way I wanted it. Um, it's such a great car, and with those wheels, it really did make it quite a bit more interesting. So here I am just doing the rest of the spokes on the rear. And I also went around on some of the places on the highlights of the body and kind of toned those down just a little bit because they were a little too strong, and I didn't want it to be totally white. I didn't want it to be totally overpowering. As you can see, I left the white walls white because I thought that fit in with that era of car, and I wanted to make it look period correct as much as humanly possible. So I also, if you can see it on the back, I put the crossed flags inside the round uh, emblem that's on the fastback, and I put the reflections of the tail lights and brake lights on the rear bumper. Did some other work along all the sides and everywhere else, even through the windshield, to make it a little bit darker so that it was obscuring the light that was going through there. And thing just came out fantastically. I really love the car. I think it's probably my new favorite car, new favorite drawing, that is. And it's really going to be great. Not sure if this is going to go in the card line or not, but I'm really happy with it the way it came out. So it may well. I'm not sure. Anyway, still working on the rear deck here. I didn't have enough time to do the wheels and then also to go after the final once over with the pen. What I do with the pen is just to darken certain areas so that they are up to snuff, so that they're at least as dark as they should be. I want to have a good range of values, and the way to do that is to move them up a little bit at a time. Make sure I don't go too far, because if I do, it'll screw up the drawing too. So it's just a very subtle game you're playing here when you do this. And if you do it right, it turns out great. If you don't do it right, it turns out okay. So it's not really a game changer at this point. It's not going to hurt anything if it doesn't work out exactly the way I want it to. But to tell you the truth, this drawing came out exactly the way I wanted it to. It's loose enough. If you look inside the driver's compartment at the steering wheel and stuff, it's just kind of ghosted in place. So are the instruments, the dash panel, all of that. It's just a very loose drawing. So it captures the idea of all the things that I wanted in there, but I didn't have to draw them all. So this made it so much nicer to do, and it makes it a little more friendly. It makes it not exactly like the photograph. If I were just going to draw like the photograph, I'd take a photograph instead. Why spend days and days and hours on doing a drawing if it's just going to look exactly like the photograph? What I'd rather do is emphasize the things I want to show the reader or viewer, and then go ahead and do that. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is to make it so that it appeals to me, but somebody can look at it and say, wow, that's really a gorgeous Stingray or whatever. So I'd like people to like my drawings, but if they don't like them, that's not my fault. That's their choice, one way or the other. I mean, it may be my fault. I may have done a bad drawing, but in any case, if somebody doesn't like it, it's not personal to me. It's just the way it is. Somebody doesn't particularly like that one drawing, so that's fine. Totally understand. Anyway, working on the little trim bits and working on the wheels right now, just trying to make the rims look close to what the photograph was. They're not exactly the same, but they're close enough to make it give you the idea of what we're looking at. Okay, nearly done with this. I'll take a look at the car tomorrow before I post, and I'll do my final once over on camera and show you how I clean up the car for the end of it, and then we'll choose a new car to do. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow because we're going to have a lot of fun, and I'll show you the end. Thank you very much. Bye.